Alright, so the front end of our blog app is complete. So now we just want a very simple area to view, add, and edit blog posts. Alright, so we're going to do that in the admin subfolder. Okay, so right now I have /admin/index.php, which is totally blank. Alright, and since the last video, I've installed a Notepad++. I've installed the Explorer so that we can easily access folders here, files and folders here, instead of through Windows Explorer. And if you want to do that, you go to Plugins, Plugin Manager, Show Plugin Manager, and go to Explorer. I don't have it here because I already have it installed, but you want to check it, click Install, and then just go to Plugins, Explorer, and click on Explorer. And this will show up and you can navigate to your directory. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up the index inside of the admin folder, the index page. Alright, so what I'm going to do is copy our front end layout to start with. Alright, so we want to go to header, and basically I'm going to copy all this, paste that in there, and then let's see, we'll do content here. Alright, and then we'll grab the footer. Okay, now I'm going to close those out. Okay, so now that we're in our admin index page, let's go ahead and change some things. We'll change the title. And we're going to use the same CSS files because it's basically going to be the same template. We're just going to get rid of the logo and some other things, the sidebar, things like that. So we want to point to our Bootstrap CSS file, but now that we're in the admin directory, we need to go back. So we'll do a .. Same thing with the custom CSS. Alright, so now that should be included. And basically I also want to include all these files, but again we're going to have to go back one. Oops. .. Okay. So let's just sidebar we don't want, so I'm going to actually just get rid of from here down to here. Okay, so we want to get rid of that. That's the entire sidebar. And then up here we want to change up the links. So home, this will be, we'll say dashboard. Alright, and then we're going to have an add post link. Okay, and we also want an add category link. And then I just want to link to visit the front end. So we'll say visit blog. Alright, and I want this visit blog link to be floated to the right, so I'm going to use the Bootstrap class pull right. Alright, so now let's add the links. So this will go to http localhost /PHP Lovers Blog, and then the category we're going to go to add category, and then here we're going to go to add post.php. Dashboard, we'll go to index of the admin folder, of course, and that's it. And then down here, blog header, I want to get rid of the logo. Basically, I'm going to get rid of all this, and the blog header is just going to be an h2 tag, and it'll say admin area. Alright, so, and then down here, since we don't have a sidebar, we're using the Bootstrap grid. So we want to change this to from 8 columns to a full page, which is 12 columns. Alright, so that'll get rid of the sidebar. And let's save that. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Looks good. Now what we're going to do is we're still going to use includes. We're going to have our own header and footer for the blog. I'm sorry, for the admin area. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to open up header and footer. Okay, and then for the header, we're going to take from here up. Paste that in the header file, and then we're going to take from here down. Cut. And that'll go in the footer. And let's also change this JavaScript. We need ... Save that. Alright, and then in the index page, we want to simply include our header and footer. So includes / header.php. And footer. Okay, so save it. Should still look the same. Good. Alright, so for the index page, we want to have a table of all posts, and then under it a table of categories, so we can easily access what we want to edit. So we're going to go to get Bootstrap, and we're going to get the HTML for a table. Tables, and I want the striped rows, so I'm just going to copy this here, and let's paste that in. Alright, now let's create our table headings. So we want a table row, and then a table head, and this is going to say post ID. And then the next one will be the post title. Well, and then the category, author, and the date. Okay, so that's our headings. Now we'll create the columns. Let me just copy this here. And these are all going to be replaced with TD. Tedious. Alright, so let me get rid of these. And I'm not going to put anything in here for now. I'm not going to put any static text or anything. Alright, so that's basically our shell. And then I think that's really it for our post table. Alright, so let's copy this. And now we want our categories table. Okay, so this is basically only going to have two fields. We'll have category ID and category name. So we can get rid of these. I only need two of these as well. Alright, so it's not going to look like much. Let's go ahead. So now we have nicely formatted table headings. Alright, so obviously we need to pull our data from the database to fill these tables, but that's good for now. So now let's create the add post. Alright, so let's go back to Notepad and I'm going to go to add post.php, and we want to make sure we include our header and footer. Alright, and we're going to have a form here, obviously, so we'll go to get Bootstrap and go to forms, and I'm just going to copy this for now. Okay, and we'll go ahead and post that in here. Alright, now we're going to have to change some stuff up here. For the form tag, we're going to do method is going to be post, and action action is going to be this file, so add underscore post.php. Alright, now the first field we want is our post title, so we're just going to change up a bunch of things here. We don't need this label for, and for input is going to be type of text, and it's not going to have an ID, we don't need that. Placeholder, we'll say enter, just say enter title. Okay, so there's our first field. I'm going to get rid of the rest of these, this password and these file inputs. I just want to keep the submit button. Okay, and I'm going to say button type submit, looks good. We want to give it a name as well, so we can make sure that it's submitted. So name is going to be submit. Alright, and the post title, we also need a name. When we're dealing with posts, post variables, you need to have a name. That's how it identifies the field. So this is going to be just called title. Alright, so I'm going to copy this and paste in a few things. Okay, so that we're going to have the title. Next will be the body, except the body is not going to be an input, it's going to be a text area. Okay, so text area, and it's going to have a name of body. And I think that's it. We got to give it the form control class as well, and we'll give it a placeholder. The form control and stuff, it's just for Bootstrap. It's just for strictly formatting issues. Enter post body. Alright, so that looks good. Okay, the next thing we want is the category select. Alright, so we want to get a select. If we go to Bootstrap, we should have an example. Alright, so basically it's just a select with the class of form control. So I'm going to replace this input. Alright, so select, we're going to have a name, which is going to be category. Alright, and then we'll have our options, which are going to be dynamically selected from the database. Okay, for now I'm just going to put news, events, and that's fine. Alright, so we have title, body, category. Now we want an author. I'm going to copy this first field. You want to get the divs too, the form group div, so we can get the correct formatting. Actually, I didn't need to copy that. I have one here. Alright, so this is going to be author. The name is going to be author. And let's see, placeholder. We'll say enter author name. Alright, and that should be it. And we also have the tags field. So I'm going to copy this. Tags. The name is also tags. And we'll say enter tags. Alright, so that looks good. We have the submit button, and I also want to have a cancel button to go back. So this is going to go to just index.php. And we want to give this a class. We want to give it the bootstrap button class, so it looks like a button. Class equals, I think it's btn, and then we have btn/default. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so there's our form. I'm going to add a line break under these buttons. Actually, you know what? We want this displayed as a block, so I'm just going to put in a. I'm just going to wrap the buttons in the div. Actually, this should be above the submit button. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's our add form. All right, so the edit post page is basically going to be the same thing, except we're going to fill it in with the value of that particular post. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up edit post. And for now, we're just going to have the same thing as add post. All right, so save that. And then we have edit category. Well, actually, we'll do add category now, which is really easy. I'm going to grab a form again. Alright, so this will be method post. And the action is going to be where it's submitted to, which is going to be this page. Alright, and we want basically just a category name. Type will be text. Alright, we're going to put in a name here. The name will be name. We don't need an ID. Placeholder, we'll just say enter category. And that's it, really. I can get rid of the rest of these. The submit button, we're going to give a name of submit. Alright, so let's check that out. Oh, we need to include the header and footer. Alright. Okay, so that looks good. Let's wrap the submit button in a div again. Alright, and I'm going to add the same thing to the edit category page. Okay, and we just want to change these actions to edit. Oh. Okay, same thing with the edit post. Alright. And actually the edit pages, I need to add one thing. I need to add a delete button. So inside of, where is it, edit post, down at the bottom, after the cancel button, we're going to have a delete button. I'm going to copy this code here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change the button. I like to use input instead. Okay, and we want to get rid of the ending tag. Alright, and then inside here we'll say value equals submit. Alright. I mean, we could use button. I just prefer the submit. I'm sorry, the input. So I'm going to copy that and put that in all our forms. Alright, so in the edit post, this is also, the delete button is also going to be an input. Okay, the name, it will be delete though. Delete, and then I'm going to change the class from button default to button danger, and that's just going to make it red. And the value, which will be the text that the button displays, is going to say delete. Okay, so I'm going to copy this whole thing, and we want to put this in edit category as well. We also want the select, which we didn't put here. I'm sorry, the cancel. Just make sure they all have the cancel. Alright, let's check that out. Okay, so add category, add post has cancel. We don't have an edit form we can see yet because we don't have anything tied to this. We need our post to show up. But the UI is now complete, and next will be fetching our posts, much like we did in the front end, except we want them to display in the admin area.